All right, guys, so I just finished up my inspection on this 2019 Wayfarer from Tiffin. And again, like I said, I don't normally get to see these. And if there's one thing you should know about me, is that I like tiny little RVs. I like tiny homes. I like good use of space. So I'm kind of excited. Oh, and I also like Tiffins. So if there's any good news, I'll be pretty excited showing you this one. Let me go ahead and start the entry. We'll go through this pretty fast. It won't be a complete walkthrough. Well, it might be. Who knows? And I'll try to cover all the bases here. So I have everything open, everything out, and we'll try to explain it all. So obviously my favorite feature right now is going to be the shade on the screen door. But my second favorite feature is right here. They already have a Tiffin branded keychain holder. I don't think that came with the motorhome, but it's clever. Of course, right here, this actually has leveling, 4-point hydraulic leveling from equalizer. I actually have this level right now. Which is pretty good because, you know, I'm pretty far off level right now. Of course, the awning you can control right here. Go ahead and retract the awning. It's a nice awning in the sense that it has that cool LED lighting, but also, you know what? It doesn't have those arms you're gonna hit your head on. Cargo lights, entry lights, main ceiling lights, awning light. There's that awning light we're talking about right there. Turn that off and on. Woo. And of course your porch light and the master light. The master light switch is really handy. That's what Tiffin's been adding for a while on the system. So you can hit that button, turn everything on. Leveling system. This only works with the park brake on, but the ignition has to be off. Up here, this coach actually probably sleeps more than most Class A motorhomes because you have your bunk right there. Sleeps one comfortably. You have your fold-out sofa seat here. That'll sleep one comfortably, two uncomfortably. This bed right here, there's nothing complicated on it. It's just your standard It's just your standard fold-out bed. Lift up the front, and you're going to pull it out. Flip down that leg. Oof. You do have some storage underneath. Just be careful what you do store underneath, because you don't want to have it fall out and crowd up the system. And then that just flips down and becomes your bed. Like I said, one comfortable, two moderately comfortable. But if you have kids, they'd be fine. But of course you can see the front room's pretty much shut down at that point. Other than a small little aisle to get in and out. Even see the microwave, it's gonna hit the bed. But that'll just flip out right here. And then of course it still has the rear bed back there. So at the very least you got 1, 2, 4, maybe 2, 4, 5. Now this does lift up, so you don't hit your head going in and out the engine or the driver's area. It is on a Mercedes Sprinter platform. There's actually a window right here. We have a shade we can open to look outside, or let all the heat in, I guess. We'll go back down. Of course, you have your fold-away TV right here. The previous owner, they went ahead and added a Blu-ray player right underneath here. It's kind of awkward, but when you're dealing with small spaces, you really got to make a lot of compromises sometimes. Really not too much to see right here. You just have your standard storage. All the lighting in here is LED. This refrigerator is the first time I've actually seen one of these refrigerators. I probably shouldn't say that as an RV tech. The freezer's on top. You got the cool LED lights right above. But down below, you actually have like a crisper drawer. You'd think that'd be the freezer, but it's not. That wouldn't work on a gas absorption refrigerator. But this is a electric gas refrigerator, just like a normal RV. I may have pointed out on the roof, you have 3 fantastic vents. So this thing should never get stuffy. That's pretty important on a small thing, or tiny homes, because They get stuffy really fast in here. Although it has a 2-burner stove on top with a, I guess it's called a hob. Those work really well. You get the countertop space on top. And then of course right down there is just your convection oven microwave. You will have to excuse me on the mess. This is, I did the inspection on it because it was sold. So this one's not really for sale. I just get to take a look at it. But there's this cool backlighting back there. That's just LED strip light behind there. Of course, it's got our standard RV roller shades on it. The sink cover, it's awkward because it has 2 pieces to it, but it also is a good use of space because you can have half the sink used. That, of course, does pull out. This has a Truma endless hot water heater, so it does have propane on this, but the generator is diesel. Here's, of course, your control center. I'm not a big fan of these things whatsoever, but nobody asked my opinion about things. Of course, you can do your slide outs. Kind of gives you good information. Do your monitor panel is going to be right there. Your water pump and your water heater, or your water tank. You have 2 pages for lights. So you have your main lights and then your bath lights. It's also a little bit weird because I think, yeah, bathroom light right here turns the ceiling light on right there. Which I guess kind of makes sense because I don't know if that makes sense to me at all. I didn't design this thing. The only other takeaway I would give from this, although I know that everything requires compromise, this door situation in the hallway right here between the shower, which is right there, and the toilet, which is right over here, is weird. So if you open up this door, you'd think it's going to be a partition door based on latches and things. They're using magnets up here. But this door, when you open it, it's this door handle right there. So in order to actually open this door all the way so that it hits that magnetic latch up there, this door has to be open all the way to that point. Hey, hello. And then it's got this cool little slidey guy that I guess partitions so nobody can peek around the corner. Now once that's done, now you can climb inside. Now you're in basically like a phone booth. So now that door will lock, and so you can get to the shower, which is right there. There's your shower door. Oh, I was stuck. And get to the toilet this way. Turn the bathroom light. Okay, and shower light. Yeah, shower's got those cool LEDs, I guess. But now, if you wanted to go to the bedroom from here, I'm not going to say you're SOL, but you can't get out this way. So let's say, there we go. You'd have to close this partition door and then get out here, back into the living room, close that off, and now you can get back to the bedroom. I don't know. It seemed like that could be done a lot better to me. Again, I know small spaces require compromises, but maybe a curtain, even a pleated door would have been fine. That's maybe here nor there. Even, I don't know, taking this door off, you already have the shower curtain anyways. If you're camping in a class B, C, you're already probably going to be pretty personal with who's ever staying with you. It's not going to be a lot of living space for guests. Now, I would have expected to find the generator controls in our control panel right here, but they didn't. They put them back here. So this does have a solar panel on there. I think it's about 150 watt, looking at the size of it. And it does have an inverter. I don't know the size of the inverter, but the inverter on just goes right there. That'll power up your TV, probably your DVD player. I don't know what else it'll power up. I definitely wouldn't do the microwave on this one, but we could watch over there, and so it'll do your TV. maybe a few outlets. I don't know what it all powers up, but it won't do your microwave on this one. You can turn your inverter off right there. Just restart the generator from the inside, just turn it on right there. This is actually a European generator. It's owned and badged on it, but it's a diesel generator. So you don't have to worry about propane or running out of propane. Sometimes with propane generators, if you're camping when it's kind of cold outside, you can almost freeze up your propane system. Now on the roof, I was confused because there was like two. I was confused because there were two Wi-Fi cell phone antennas it looked like. So this would have been the one that came from Tiffin, and then this was the King control one that they added. So somebody added that for the previous owner. It's just your AB switch, basically between the over-the-air antenna and park cable. And then this whole thing does flip down. So you can see these HDMI cables right here. Tiffin kind of pioneered the idea of using switch boxes to splitters to split an HDMI signal or component video cable. I really liked how they did their setup, so everything was just one input on the TV. It does work. This previous owner went ahead and put an AB switch right here, so you can do what Tiffin has or to this Blu-ray player they installed. And of course, this TV does pull out. You might notice right here there's a Truma AquaGo controls for it. You can turn it off, eco mode, normal mode, and then the other modes that you'll never ever use except for winterizing and cleaning. What I did notice and was surprised by it, Tiffin's using a lot of magnetic latches. That's not very standard in the RV world, but I guess they're working. Now this compartment's not for storage, hence the lock on it. This is just going to be your furnace, your wiring to your spider boxes. Those spider boxes is your electrical center right there. That's what these push buttons control, otherwise known as a multiplex system. Down below, your 110 breakers, and of course your converters right there. These are 12-volt circuit breakers for those circuits. Your thermostat, I don't really like these thermostats. They're way too small, and you have to push this button so many times to go through all the different features that you want to use, that I think it could have been redesigned a lot easier with a switch. Again, nobody asked me, and why would they? So this coach has two slides. Of course, you have your main slide right here with the refrigerator in it and the sofa, and you have another rear slide in the back that goes out. Now this slide, when it's out right now, if it were to try to go in, we would crush the wall right here. So what some of you guys already know is that this whole thing flips up and then locks on right there. Now from what I've heard, there might be some disagreement on the forums about this latch right here. You can see the previous owner already put a whole bunch of duct tape on there because they probably kept hitting their something or other on there and hurting themselves. But I think it's probably a fair point to say there should probably be two of these latches. One on this side and then one on this side, because I don't know if you guys can see that. It feels a little bit of wobbly on that side, but on this side, pretty good. Kind of turns this into a seating area, so you have cushions to sit on right there. Sorry, I turned the generator off for you guys. But you also get this bag of cushions right there that I think can go sit back right here. Because one thing I did notice, or didn't notice, which I thought was strange, maybe it's not for a lot of people, but I didn't see a TV in the bedroom. Now, not everybody likes TV in the bedroom, but I do. I can't watch YouTube without it. Well, that's not true. All right, so I like watching YouTube on a TV. But what I found was that there is a TV back here. So this whole thing pulls out right there. Look at that, you got a TV. I mean, now you can't get to the hallway or the bathroom without smacking your face, but it is there, and it does exist. I also thought this main TV, you could probably articulate enough to actually see it. Underneath here, that's where that Truma water heater is. No storage again, that's why it's got the lock. Not that it does much good. And of course you have your only real closet space, which is right there. You have this kind of weird little hidden drawer. I survived. I don't think the Pacific Coast Highway is that bad that you have to survive it. But that one's got soft close. That was the only one with soft close that I noticed. Yeah. Other than that, only other cool little features were these reading lights. I thought they would be a lot worse than they really were. So if I turn that on, I'm going to turn this off. You can see it's a cool little accent light, but also does give a lot of downlight, so it is directional. So I thought it was pretty clever. You have those here, and then also above the sofa right there. The driver's compartment looks like every other Sprinter on the market. Nothing too crazy. Now these seats do flip around or turn around. So those will rotate around. So you have a lot more living space in here. That's a nice feature to have. That's not always common on these units. But both of them are going to rotate around. And of course you have all your privacy curtains that come around. They just accordion out of the way just like that. But if I open those, you guys won't be able to see anything. This does have lane departure warning. My favorite features on all of these, besides being a cool little diesel chassis, is that storage space right there. That little cubby hole right above the visor is such a useful little place to put stuff. I guess you do get a Tiffin themed mat there. And some of your outlets will have USB built into it. Sign of the times indeed. Slide. Looks like a weird droid. Bed slide retract. So definitely make sure that bed's folded up before you drive down the road. But also make sure it's folded up before you bring the slide out in. I don't know if you guys heard that. These are Schwintek slides. So you need to hold that button the whole time until it turns itself off. Otherwise, you can start getting problems with your slide outs. So slide out, retract. All right, and that's all the way in. So here we are. So I know van life's a big thing. I'm a big follower of it, but even with all of those two slides in, there's a lot of walking around space in here still. So you can still get to the galley just fine. You can still get all the way into the bedroom just fine. Get to your controls right in here. That'll open just fine. Even your closet will open just fine. Even get to the shower, not a problem. And this shower, again, I'm 6 foot, so if that skylight wasn't there, that'd be a problem, but gives you a couple more inches. And most importantly, and most importantly, hi, you can get to the bathroom just fine. Now that's pretty much the inside. I'm going to take you through the outside real fast. There's not too much to see because, well, you know, it's just storage compartments. All right. Ooh, got a little dusty out here. Let's go ahead and retract that awning. I think it'll retract itself now. And then of course this door has a gas strut on it to keep it from opening up all the way. It does have the outside TV and sound bar set up. Pretty common on everything now. It's a little surprised to see that the compartment door they used was not as solid as it should have been. Awning's back up. They have these cool LED porch lights. There's still quite a bit of storage in here, and the previous owner still has a lot in here. I get you guys in there. You can see it goes over the top. I think that's service access to the inverter there. Now that doesn't open up, but the storage does go around to the side. And what I wasn't able to show because it was full of everything is, although this is a steel compartment liner or a tray, they use like a spray-on bed liner as a sound deadener and I guess a little bit of insulation. But that's going to be the inverter. So you do have some room in here. This does have a gas furnace. There's our generator, Quiet Diesel 3200. It is a diesel. More storage right back in here. It does go all the way across to the other side. So that's what it looks like on the side. It does have the frameless windows, which again, if you're gonna have frameless windows, that compartment door kind of takes away from that look. On the back, of course, obviously you have your freshwater tank fill. They do have a bike rack here, and definitely if you have a rear slide out, make sure that you get the slide out, or the bike rack out of the way before you run the slide out room. Here's the shore cord compartment. That's part of that passover. Now, I can tell you the wire's a little sloppy if you're trying to put anything over the top. You probably have to get that out of the way. And of course, your water compartment's right here. It's got the multi-function valve and I don't know, standard water compartment. There's a Truma water heater. Now this is a tankless water heater. This is water on demand. It's a European system that by all accounts is a good system. I don't know. These are just refrigerator vents for the refrigerator. This is where your sewer compartment's going to be. Now this has tankless probe sensors on it. That's what these little guys are right there. Allegro's been using those, or Tiffin's been using those for a while. Winnebago has been too. Doesn't mean they're not prone to the tanks with a sludge buildup on the inside causing a problem, so you still need to rinse out your tanks. And if you have like any wires or anything in front of these sensors right here, it'll also throw off those sensors. But here's something maybe not too many people know. This whole section, if you do it carefully, will swivel. Okay? So if you have different adapters put on, you can swivel that. Just don't yank this thing really hard because you don't want to break any of the pipes or rip out anything with sewage in those tanks. And this does have propane, hence the stove, the furnace, and the refrigerator. And of course the water heater was also propane. Really not too much to see right here. Diesel fuel only. It does have DEF diesel exhaust fluid that goes under the hood. I can show you where that's at. And so, and of course, there's what the side of it looks like on the driver's side. The last little features, we'll look under the hood. It's a strange place to put DEF, that's for sure. It's just crystal. Somebody's been spilling it, or maybe overfilling it. It's my only guess. Previous owner, they went ahead and put air horns in. It's quite the exotic air horn. So you have a compressor and an air tank right there, which I think is pretty ridiculous. They should have at least had a service port so you could hook up and fill up tire pressures if you needed to. That's like a big system just for an air horn. Of course, to retract the jacks, you just hit turn the power on, you hit all retract right there. And these are power up. So these are power up and power down. These are equalizer jacks. And they're going up right now. See if you hear any bumping while that's going on. That's where your house batteries are going to be located. Kind of surprised those aren't lithium. All right, I think we're all retracted. Yep. And it even says the jacks are up. Last thing we would do right here is turn off the batteries so then the client doesn't come back to dead batteries. Turns everything off. Release that. And we'll go back inside and with the slide out in, I wasn't able to show you guys. This has a seamless slides. So it's hard to see, but if you follow this around, there was no seam right there. Come around to the front. Again, no seam all the way across. So that's pretty good technology that they threw at a Schwintek slide. I guess it just means it's a big fiberglass box. You can also see it in the rear slide here, and that rear slide pops out a good solid 2.5 feet, maybe 3 feet. That's pretty. You guys have it. I hope you enjoyed that little walkthrough. I enjoyed it more because, like I said, I don't get to see newer product as often as I would like to see it, because I'm more in the service side, and so it's very exciting for me to look at this and seeing all the features and cool functionalities of the whole thing. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Tiffin. My favorite feature about them, other than being a privately owned family company that really takes care of their customers, but as a technician, I worked at a Tiffin dealer, and every year you could see what they changed based on things that weren't working and they wanted to improve. So every year they were improving their product, which is, I think, probably the best thing you can do as a builder. There's a lot of manufacturers out there that built coaches a certain way 20, 30 years ago, and they haven't stopped changing that method. They haven't improved on it. They just said, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which I guess I can appreciate some part of that, but also, what if it's broke? You should fix it. 2019 Wayfarer by Tiffin Motor Coaches. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Now don't let my hat and my jacket fool you guys. It's not freezing here. It's like 45, 46 degrees. Just because the sun hasn't crested the mountain yet, but I'm a desert boy, and that's cold to me. Don't judge me too hard.